Hello everyone. What do you think is this? Here is the answer. Before you a gum, which is 132 years old. This was found in the time capsule. It turns out that our ancestors left quite a lot of similar messages. Would you like to see them? Then today we will show you many unusual artifacts from the past. Let's go! Centenary box. In 1914, the Wall Street Business Association put together a time capsule to immortalize their names in history. They sealed important documents in this beautiful bronze box and handed it over to the Historical Society of the city. According to the author's idea, the capsule was to be opened and reburied in 1974, but they only remembered it in the 90s. Forget about the message of the great ancestors? Apparently, the New Yorkers had better things to do. Therefore, it was decided to open the box for its centenary in 2014. There were found medals, a letter from the governor of the city, a lot of newspapers of that time, and even a copy of a letter from a revolutionary in 1774 inside. The capsule was reburied in the same year, and another one was added to the bronze chest. Local high school students put their tickets for a Lady Gaga concert, headphones, and other items that tell about modern culture. The next time the boxes will be opened only in 2114, unless, of course, the people of the future will not forget about them. The most ambitious capsule. If 100 years does not seem to be such a long period, then how do you like a 1,000-year time capsule? The Massachusetts Institute of Technology has such a historical artifact. As it turned out, it was buried in 1957. The capsule was discovered in 2015 during construction work on campus. It says so do not open until 2957. Agree, the date is impressive. Apparently, the message to the future is time to the opening of new laboratories and the creation of new components of computers at the university. The capsule is made in the form of a sealed glass cylinder, so we can see the objects inside. Scientific articles, magazines, an ampoule of penicillin, and even a transistor for computing. The authors thought over their glass project. They evacuated the air and filled it with argon to make the objects better survive the long journey through time. Fortunately, the university has decided not to reveal the unusual message, and our distant descendants will be able to look into the past. A message from above. An unusual granite ball is in front of you. Inside it is the 1892 time capsule. A unique find was discovered during the restoration of a temple in Salt Lake City. The statue of angels on the steeple of the church stood on a real historical artifact. The researchers carefully opened the ball and pulled out 128-year-old coins, old books, a medallion and a copper plate with the names of the founders. The granite shell did not protect objects from moisture, so the Bible and the Book of Mormon eventually became dilapidated. Old photographs suffered the most, although later historians found out who was depicted on them. These are the priests and the first leaders of the city parish. In total, scientists found about 400 coins, 12 books, 2 photographs, and 1 medallion. Now all the most important objects are under restoration. In the future, scientists plan to display the artifacts in the museum church to draw attention to its history. Letter in a bottle. Not all historical messages are hidden in monuments or on main streets. So while walking along the beach, do not forget to look under your feet and you may stumble upon the world's oldest letter in a bottle. This is exactly what happened to the Illman family in 2018. While they were vacationing on the coast of Western Australia, they suddenly found a mysterious bottle in the sand. Inside it rested a dense roll of paper, and on the yellow parchment was the date June 12, 1886. At first, the family did not believe in the age of the find, but later the data were confirmed. It turns out that the message was thrown from a German meteorological ship. More than a century ago, scientists studied the weather in this region of the Pacific Ocean. By some miracle, the 132-year-old bottle has survived to this day, avoiding the effects of water, sun and sand. Now the Illman family is sharing the artifact with museums around the world so that everyone can learn its unusual history. Chewing gum from the past. In 2019, another time capsule was found in Salt Lake City. Apparently in this city there was some kind of fashion for historical messages. It was laid in the foundation of the school in 1887, but it has been fully studied only in our time. In general, a metal box was discovered in 1959 first, but only one newspaper was withdrawn from it, which was transferred to the city's archives, and the rest of the contents were safely forgotten, and therefore it remained intact to this day. So, what's inside, you ask? Bibles, textbooks, a map of the city, photos of the already familiar cathedral, as well as buttons and household items. Apparently, everyone left their souvenirs in this box, and this can tell scientists a lot about life in that era. But the most striking find is 132-year-old bubble gum. Would you dare to try this rarity?
No, God! No, God, please, no! No!
By the way, the collection will soon be available in the museums of Salt Lake City. Monument with a secret. In 2018, a monument to Confederate General Beauregard was dismantled in New Orleans. During the demolition of the pedestal, a copper box was unexpectedly found for all builders. It was hidden in the base of the statue back in 1913, so that from time to time it became very rusty and fragile. There was no doubt about it that there was something very old and valuable inside. The entire drawer was filled with historical items such as old banknotes, documents, books, withered flags, and medals. If the flags practically did not survive, then the money seemed to feel great in this box. There were even banknotes from 1862. We don't know who decided to leave a legacy to descendants, but this guy knew exactly where a lot of money could be safely hidden. Today, items from the cache continue to be studied and restored, and perhaps this box has more secrets than we can imagine. Souvenirs in the wall. Time capsules don't always hold only medals, documents, and dusty newspapers. During the restoration of the Knoxville estate, workers found a cache in the wall that consisted entirely of mementos. There was a note on the box, a note from one of the former White Restorers Company who worked on the estate in 1991. Inside were toys, magazines of those years, photographs of employees, and other pieces of culture of the 90s. And do you know what the current team did? They decided to continue the unusual tradition and returned the updated capsule to its place. Perhaps the next generation will be much more surprised at it. Soldier's Room. Not only metal boxes can become time capsules, sometimes the entire interior retains its original historical appearance. Check out this room of a French officer of the First World War. It has remained intact since the time the man went to war. Cobwebs have covered an old tunic, a pipe clogged with tobacco lies on the table, and battle sabers hang on the walls. Junior Lieutenant Rochereau died in the battles of 1918, and his parents decided to mothball the room in honor of the memory of their son. Here time seemed to stand still. Furniture from the beginning of the last century, a ceremonial headdress, photos of faithful comrades on the bed. After the death of his parents, the house changed owners several times, but by some miracle the room remained untouched. Today the estate belongs to a man who sacredly honors the memory of the war hero. Perhaps in the future, local authorities will achieve museum status for the room, but so far it remains a lost portal to the past. Mysterious safe. Imagine you break the wall to make repairs in your apartment, and behind it there is a mysterious safe. This is exactly what happened to the Phoenix couple. The guys found a cache in the floor that contained $50,000, a bottle of 60s bourbon, a book, and a photo of a strange man. But that's not all. Looking better, they found a cipher that apparently leads to another money time capsule. We do not know how the story ended, but we hope that the guys did not get into any trouble. Jules Verne capsule. Science fiction writer that famous for such works as Around the World in 80 Days, 15-Year-Old Captain, and others. Even after his death he continues to arouse interest in his person. As it turned out, during his lifetime Jules Verne left an unusual gift for future generations, a mysterious box in which he placed several amazing things. However, where he hid this treasure remained unknown for a long time. Researchers and scientists around the world have tried to solve this mystery. And only a couple of years ago the treasure was still found. So, what did Jules Verne's fans find in the mountains? In the box, Jules Verne collected several completely different objects, and at first glance, completely unrelated to each other. It was a telescope, some kind of key, a medieval coin, and a folder with documents. The writer's hand also left a lot of signatures and marks on the documents, so the researchers believe that some kind of mystery is also hidden behind the found things. Scientists have to figure out what the new message means, but today one thing is clear. Jules Verne created talented adventure stories not only on the pages of his works, but also in everyday life. Dear friends, thanks for watching, and that's all for today. Share your opinion in the comments, like it and subscribe. A lot of interesting content awaits you.